G'day everyone, Wesley here from the Mental Awareness Foundation, and we are doing an Under the Radar. So what is Under the Radar? And you girls are probably thinking, what the hell is Under the Radar? Under the Radar is where we at the Mental Awareness Foundation, also known as MAF, not Married at First Sight, but Mental Awareness Foundation, take the time to, interview or promote or bring awareness towards people that we deem are doing great things, particularly in the mental health community or just in life, and are flying under the radar. Maybe our community don't know about it or what's happening, and we wish to bring them to the forefront to let everybody know what particularly these two great people are up to, Claire and Kate. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read from your website because I think you've done it really well. It's called The Nuts and Bolts. Two 20-something-year-old country gals, Claire Harris and Kate Strong, wave, hitting the road and driving in the excess of 20,000 kilometres around Australia from March to December 2022, teaching line dancing to anyone, everywhere, anywhere, and raising money for rural charities along the way. We plan to attend and teach at big country events and festivals, nice, as well as pubs and halls and the iconic Australia's destinations. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Claire and Kate.
Hey Wes, thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, Wes. I'd say that summed it up nicely. You got it all
Yeah.
right.
Well,
reading off the site, you're not going to get it wrong.
Assuming you wrote the content because you know where you're going, so that's great. Well, girls, quickly, where are you?
Well, very authentically, we are sitting in the car, which is our home for the next 10 months. So we're in the Emerald Tourist Park at the moment, and it's just started raining, so we thought be on the safe side and be inside. So we've been in Emerald for a few days now. We've got our Emerald Country Hoedown event on tonight, and
wow.
Yeah, then we'll head
the
west.
First one? Is this the first event?
No, sixth maybe. So our launch party was in Toowoomba at the start of March, and we've done a few since then. A few in Rocky, one in Bundy, but yes, the Emerald event tonight.
That's magic. Well, let's go back a little. Firstly, how did you two meet?
Well, iconically, we met on a line dancing floor. So it was about 4 years ago now. About mid 2018, I'd been dancing for a while, but was away at uni and was back one night on mid-semester break. Claire had moved to Gatton to continue studying there and was coming up to Toowoomba to dance and get stereotypically country. And we just met. We were the two younger members of the group that night and hit it off. And since then, I think even on that first night, we mentioned, maybe we could do this one day. And now over a period of 4 years, it's manifested into a line dancing road trip around Australia for charity. So, yeah.
Now, for some of us non-country folk, what is line dancing?
So line dancing, for anyone who's ever done the nut bush, which we're hoping is 99% of the population, the nut bush is a line dance. So essentially line dancing is you do a set of steps. It's all your feet. You can include your arms, but that's only for enthusiasm points. But steps with your feet facing one way, and then you move to a second wall, and then do the same thing again, move to the next wall. So we think it's a good one to learn just because it's fun, but it's a good one to learn because it is quite, it's more simple than other dances in the way that the timing can be quite basic. You repeat it, so even if you don't get it straight away, you can get it on the next wall and that sort of thing. There's no, it's not partner dancing. You don't have to worry what anyone else is doing. And yeah, I just say it's the healthiest addiction there is. It's so much fun. You meet so many amazing people. The music is great. There's nothing we don't like about it.
And for any of the Footloose enthusiasts that may be listening to this, it's basically what that entire movie is, which is how I actually came into it.
So would you say there's kind of one routine, you get that down pat, and then you just constantly just repeat that? Or can you freestyle, can you do a bit of freestyling with the feet?
Can you freestyle in line dancing? You can do whatever you like.
Yes.
Often we will teach a dance and that's the dance that goes to the song, but we don't care if people miss a step or add their own style or anything like that. It's all about having fun and getting out there and just having a move, meeting some people, and yeah, having a good time.
Now, obviously, collaborating you two, have you actually created your own lime dance style? Is that the Hoedown style, or is there, it's a certain song that you're like, right, this is our inspiration here. We've created this. This is what you guys got to do. It's going to be awesome.
Wes, that's a great question, and we've done a few interviews, but no one has asked us that. So
Really?
there you go, points for you.
Put your mark on line dancing.
We haven't yet, except there's a song called I look, we're 2 weeks in of 10 months. But,
we've got time to kill yet.
Yeah, there's a song called Can't Dance, and it's very catchy, and like there's a line that's like 2 steps to the left, 2 steps to the right. And we thought that could be a fun one to kind of come up with the dance to of, let's do a dance to Can't Dance. So I think now that I've said that, now I've committed, on recording to say that we'd better do it. But short story at the moment.
We haven't had enough time in caravan parks just yet to be able to come up with our own routine.
Well, girls, you've got 20,000 kilometres to think about a Hoedown style. So I reckon you could do it. And it'd be great because it'd be your tag and you can come at the end, you go, ladies and gentlemen, this is us.
Exactly.
Our inspiration here. We are leaving you with a piece of our step 1, step 2. So that's awesome. I guess, girls, like if you're happy to, like, what is it that you love out of line dancing? What is it that obviously one has made you want to do this trip, but what is it that energy that you feed off that continues to keep coming back to line dancing?
I'll go first.
You go.
I think I've always loved dancing. So growing up, I was the classic doing ballet, jazz, I did a bit of Zumba, I did a bit of salsa and all of that. So dancing as a whole is something that I have always loved. But I love the music in line dancing. Like I've learned a lot of great songs through line dancing, and just the people that you meet, like it can be for everyone. And I also like that it can be as easy or tricky as you want it. You can, if you just, meet someone in the caravan park who wanders past and wants to learn one, we could teach one in 5 minutes and they can do it. But then, there's some that Kate and I will teach each other and it takes, 20 minutes or something to really get down pat. So I think because of the range of what you can do with it, depending on your audience and where you are and all of that sort of thing, it's pretty versatile. And it's just, the people that you get to meet through doing it, I would say those are my reasons why I love it.
Yeah, well, you've taken the words right out of my mouth.
Sorry.
I think I have to agree with Claire there. Like, it's so much fun, and just the people you meet and the things that you like, you can do a step in a sequence and all that sort of stuff. And you can always then go, oh, this is, Claire and I, this happens to us all the time, is we'll go, oh, this is my new favorite dance. Let's do this one dance to every song we know. And so we'll like learn this dance and we'll like, it'll go really well to the song that it's originally to, and then we'll push it right to its boundaries and do it like 20 times faster, and then have to go back to the original and go, oh, this is really like, we need to find a new favorite dance. So there's, you can keep working with it, but that's also not for everyone. Like some people prefer the slower waltzy type things, and that's completely fair, and that fits into the line dancing side of things too. And I think there's just so much range and diversity, and it's really fits everyone, and everybody has their own fun with it.
Just sort of another thing there, which although now I think about it, probably is uniform to all dancing, except line dancing is, a lot of people apart from the Nutbush haven't really tried it, but they've seen it on movies or somewhere, somehow they've seen people do it, and then when they actually do it themselves and realize, especially those simpler dances, they're not that hard. If one person is doing it on their own, you're like, great. But if you've got a group of 20 people all standing there line dancing, it looks amazing, and it looks far harder than it actually is. But just actually having everyone all together, doing a dance facing this way, doing the dance facing that way, it looks quite spectacular, I think.
Yeah.
And I reckon no doubt there would be this noise of, how good's this song? I love this song.
Yeah, us into the microphones up the front.
I love this song.
Yeah.
Well, I asked that question, girls, because we at our charity, the Mental Awareness Foundation, we're big on participation, right? And obviously doing something that you love. And the great thing about line dancing, or just that participating, is that you're getting involved. And you mentioned, the people you meet. So that's community, right? And we, particularly with mental health, having community or people supporting you around you is really important, right? Because obviously it's those that support you that will lift you up, particularly when people are in down times. But then also, I'm sure you girls will attest to this, that once you start moving, how good do you feel?
Exactly.
And
that's
sort of getting that energy going.
That aligns really closely with the goals that we have for this trip too. What you've just said there, Wes, is like we're really wanting to bring communities together. We're really rurally focused in this, and rural communities have had, as have everyone, a pretty tough couple of years the last couple of years with COVID and droughts and floods and fires, and just living with the environment that Australia is. It's not always easy for everyone. So one of the really big things with this is bringing those communities together. Like, even if you don't necessarily get on the floor, but you're standing on the side having a beer with your neighbor that you haven't seen for 3 months or whatever, like that to us is still a massive success. And we really want to see those communities come together and build those connections again, even if it's only for one night. And hopefully that leaves a bit of a lasting impact that I should go and do that more often. So that's one thing that we're really trying to do. And then the others are obviously raising money for charity. We really want to do that. We're supporting a different charity for every state that we're traveling through. So we've got 7 charities lined up. And we also just really want to spread the love of line dancing, because why not have a bit of fun?
And well, you mentioned that, and obviously we're a charity, but we love supporting those that are supporting other charities. You're in Queensland. So whom are you supporting on this part of the journey?
So Queensland is Aussie Helpers. So that's a charity that essentially their focus is to keep people on the land when times are tough. And I really like about them that they're not a one size fits all approach. So, they'll talk to farmers, and if it's a food hamper, or if it's feed for livestock, or if it, is just money, or, school supplies or that sort of thing, they'll talk to farmers and really give them what they need during tricky times. And at the moment they're doing outstanding work with so many people who've been impacted by the floods. And we just really like what they stand for, and we feel really privileged to be able to support them, and we hope that we can raise as much as we can in the Queensland leg for them. So
And how can people donate, or are you sort of handing the hat around on the line dance, as they're dancing?
Well, we haven't tried mid-line dance of your turn, next beat, your turn, but
two ideas I'm giving you girls there, so you run with it. But how can people donate?
So we have a link on our website where you can either support us, which helps cover our running costs, and anything above our running costs will be donated to charity at the end of each state. Obviously, we need to be able to survive on something other than baked beans for the 10 months. So we're taking a small portion of that for our own running costs. But everything above that will be donated to charity. So you can donate directly to us through that. We'll also have donation tins out at any of the events we're doing and that sort of thing. Or on our website as well, there's a link to each of the charities, so you can donate directly to the charities as you see fit as well through our website.
What's that website?
www.hoedownsforcountrytowns.com.
Awesome.
Is our
I'll
website.
put a link into this. Now, girls, March to December, it's a long time. Let's be honest. It'll go quick, no doubt, but it is a long time. What is it that you do for yourself, for your own mental health? Like, how do you, because, being the two of you, you're very close, I'm sure, and no doubt a few laughs, but there's also going to be a few tough moments. But, when you're by yourself, what is it that you do that helps your mental health? Let's start.
Again, great question. Wes is asking all the original questions, the OG ones. I think we're under we are, we're best friends, but we're under no illusion that there's going to be times when I'm like, God, Kate's annoying today, and Kate will be thinking the same thing about me. So we're very aware that we have to, if we can go and do something on our own, like that's nothing against the other person. We're happy to do that. But at the same time, we're excited to enjoy this trip together. We're going to experience so many things together, meet so many amazing people together. We can have a cup of tea debrief every night and just go through, remember when that happened? Or, what about that person? And all of that sort of thing. So I think really making sure that we do enjoy it together, make the most of it. It's the trip. Well, we're hoping it's the trip of a lifetime, but then at the same time, appreciate that we do need space, which is trickier. Yeah, easier said than done when you live in a car together. So just enjoying it together and separately where we see fit, and just making sure that it's a good 10 months together. And
and I think someone that I used to work with used to always say that in the absence of communication, people will make assumptions. So I think it's really important throughout the trip that we communicate to each other as well, that, you know, instead of just being a little storm cloud in the corner going, you know, Claire, you're really hitting a nerve today. Please take a hike. Or something like that. Like, I think communication is a really key part of it as well, especially living in such close proximity to each other all the time. But we've also found, even in the 2 weeks that we've been living out of the car, is we knew this previously as well, but Claire and I have rather different sleep cycles. So I'm like
who's the early bird again?
Me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
a down with the sun, up with the sun type of person. So I, like, this morning I was up at 5 a.m. and I was like up and I read my book and I'll like get breakfast on and all that sort of thing. I had those few hours in the morning before Claire's alive where I can go, okay, this is where I want to like go for a walk, or I want to go and read a book, or this is where I want to, you know, debrief on yesterday, or that sort of thing. So that's my time for me. And then Claire has like that same sort of time when I go to bed about 9 o'clock. She stays up till about 11 and has that time for her as well there. So I think that's also, and I think more as we get into the trip more, that'll really work in our favor to just be able to go, you know what, this is my time for me. And we have that little bit of space from each other.
And girls, you touched on a great point. Communicate is so important in anything in life, business, relationships, family, and particularly, you know, those that are struggling. I know sometimes it's hard to step forward, but that's where that courage comes, to step forward and communicate what's happening on inside. So please be as transparent as you can with each other, because obviously it'll make the trip, even if it sometimes can be, I guess, a negative conversation, getting it out and open is definitely the best way, because I think sometimes we leave stuff inside of us or our minds, and it builds up to be bigger than what it actually is.
Absolutely.
Right? By just sort of verbalizing it, or perhaps taking that time to say, hey, you happy with everything? Are we going all right? Are we doing the right thing? You know, any feedback, I say with my team, feedback is a gift. Either if it's good or bad, because obviously then you can work on it. So now, girls, obviously you're in Emerald, but where's tonight? You said you're performing, so that's awesome. Where are you performing? And then what's the next sort of week look like?
So tonight we're actually teaching a class as social, so it's sort of us performing, but we're going to be teaching and getting people involved in that sort of thing tonight as well. So that's the Emerald Town Hall downtown here in Emerald. Yes. And $20 at the door. Everybody's welcome. You can also pre-purchase tickets through our website. Nice. And then from here, the next week is we will be in Emerald for a couple days yet, and then we're out to Ilfracombe on Wednesday. And so we're going to be spending a few nights out there in Ilfracombe, and we've got another class out there on Thursday night at the Well Shop pub. Yeah. Which will be a great night. Getting out into, you know, the iconic pubs of Australia. Yes. And then from there on to Longreach for an event there on Friday at the Edgeley Hall. Yeah. Awesome. in Longreach on Friday, so that'll be really good. And as a side note,
I know what this side note's going to be.
As a side note, Claire is not a little fan of Bluey. So we have little Bluey and Bingo, Janet and Rita, sit on our dash. They're our little dash mascots, which have been knocked off because of the But these are our little mascots. And Bluey and Bingo are actually performing in Longreach on Saturday. So we get to do the Nut Bush with Bluey and Bingo on Saturday.
I've only been introduced to Bluey. I don't have kids, so
neither do I.
Bluey's actually a Brisbane creation, an Australian creation, which is absolutely crushing it all over the world. So it's kind of cool to have a Queenslander joining you for the trip. Girls, is like, let's say, you know, someone watching this in Adelaide or wherever over Australia, can they get in contact with you and say, hey, we'd love you to do a class in our community, or is that a possibility? Yep.
Definitely. That's what we're hoping is going to happen. So a little, when would it have been? About January or February, the traveling jackaroo. So he's a guy who's he's 18. He's also a Queenslander from Mullaney, and he's traveling Australia on a tractor, as you do, and he's raising money for RFDS and Drought Angels and Dolly's Dream.
Yeah,
and
nice.
he's just absolutely fantastic, just so down to earth, quite a larrikin as well. But he has a massive follower base, and he shared what we were doing and said, you know, because his audience are probably pretty similar to ours, you know,
Yes.
rural people who like, you know, people getting out and getting into their community and that sort of thing. And he shared what we were doing. And that day, and probably the 3 days that followed, just so many people, you know, people who own pubs, people who had, you know, stations with a nice big barn that's got, you know, we've got new lighting, can you come to us? Or, oh, I'm on the CWA, can you come and do an event with our town? Like, so many people just reached out to us, and we loved that, because, you know, in our very biased opinion, what we're doing is cool, but just to actually get that confirmation from people who are like, oh, this is a great thing. I want these girls to do something in our town. That was great. And so we're hoping that continues as well. And hopefully, you know, we're 2 weeks in of 10 months, as, you know, we get a bit more of a name for ourselves and people do, you know, find out about us a bit more. People are going to keep reaching out. So through our website, there's a contact us page. You know, we've got number, email, you can message us through Facebook, whatever you like. We would love people, if anyone's listening to this and thinks, yes, let's get Hoedowns to the country towns to our town, please, yeah, we'd love to hear from you. We definitely can't, you know, zigzag across the whole
Yes, of course, it's going to be on the journey. Yep. Actually, with that said, do you have a map of the journey? Like, are you sticking to a route that you're going to follow, just to keep it obviously simplistic for?
Yeah, so again, on our website, on that same nuts and bolts page that you read from earlier, was just down the bottom of that, there's a map that has the rough outline of where we're going, as we've thought, like, and that's sort of how we planned it through those early stages, and that is subject to change. You know, that's what we're wanting to stick to, but, you know, if someone calls out and they're, you know, on a station in the middle of nowhere, but it's sort of on our route, we're happy to make detours and all that sort of thing to fit those people in, because we want to go to places where people want us. And again, it's like, we want to bring communities together. So if we can put something on in a town in the middle of nowhere, but bring, you know, more people to that town than it's seen for the last 5 years, then, you know, why not? We're doing it.
Is there a location that's probably going to be very, very odd / unique, that you know that's going to be a different one? Or do you have also maybe a big festival that you're going to? Is there something in Perth or anything that you're lined up for?
There's a few. So the Curdy Merker Outback Ball, that's on Clayton Station in South Australia, up near Lake Eyre. Now, this year it's running for the first time since 1996, and apparently it was just, back in the day, it was the thing to go to.
No doubt.
Every man and his dog were there, and, you know, people from here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, I don't actually know why, but it stopped anyway this year, end of April is.
I might know why. It probably got a little out of hand. So.
So we're going to that, and we'll be teaching there, and there's that's a 2 or 3 day thing. That'll be fantastic. So pretty keen to go to something as iconic as that. We're really excited to go to landmarks as well. Like, you know, it's cliche, but dancing in front of Uluru is just going to be.
Have you been to Ayers Rock before?
I haven't, but Claire's been a couple of times.
Isn't it spectacular?
It is.
Yeah, you're in for a treat.
Well, luckily last year when I was there, I was super fortunate to see it actually rain on the rocks. So naturally,
I saw that online. Yeah, I saw. That was super cool. Yeah,
it was. It just made sense to do a line dance 2 raining on the rock while it was raining on the rock. I thought I was very, very clever at that time. But it was just spectacular. So we're excited for the trip of all the benefits that it's going to bring communities, but we're excited for our sake as well. Like, what a way to see Australia through doing something like this.
And girls, I've got to take my hat off to you, because no doubt it was an idea, right? And then you talk about it, but there's so much energy behind turning that idea into something that's occurring, right? And that's that step. And I just want to say well done, because you are going to create memories for life, and you are going to change people's lives, and you're going to bring smiles to people's faces, and you're going to have a lot of fun. And I just want to say well done, because it's well and good to have the idea, but it's the people that take the action to go off and do it, and you're doing it. So that's fantastic. Couple more questions. What is it that you want, like what is it deep down that you want people to get out of this? And then also, what do you want to get out of it yourself?
All right. I think what we're probably harping on about the people side of things, but what we want is if someone can come along and, come along to a class, someone who's never tried line dancing before, kind of saw that it was on and thought, I'll give it a go. And then by the end of the class, they'll want to look up some more dances on YouTube, or they'll find, a local-ish line dancing group if there is anyone nearby, and just decide it's something they want to enjoy, they want to be a part of further. So if we can get people to, have a new hobby, or if someone even sees it and like, oh, I'm going to start my own line dancing group in town, there's more videos and step sheets online than you could know what to do with. So I think if we can give people something that, yes, we're only going to be in their town for a little while, but something that in some way or another they can continue, and it's a way that the community can come together for something fun. If that happened anywhere, then we would be absolutely stoked. So that's what I'm hoping for, probably for the people we're going to meet and for us as well. Like that would just be ultimate goals.
And I think there's a lot of sort of stereotypes out there around line dancing, that it's for older ladies that have retired and have got nothing else to do with their time. And the majority of groups that Claire and I have danced with, that is the case. But also, it doesn't have to be. Like, Claire and I absolutely love it, and it's not at all just for those ladies that have moved on to a different stage in their life. It can really be for anyone, and I think we really sort of want to break that stereotype around it and just go, you know what, this is for everyone. You can all have a bit of fun, and go to those rural towns where people are like, oh, I don't dance, but surely you've done the nut bush at least once, so you can dance. Now do a grapevine.
Well done, girls. It sounds like you're actually trying to create connections, so I love it. So well done. Now, final question, and we'll each person can have a go at it, but if you could get a message out to millions of people, or if you could put it on a billboard, what would that be?
On a billboard, geez. If we
You've made us both think here.
The ABC Capricornia, I don't know if Kate's going to like my answer here, but ABC Capricornia, based in Rocky a little while ago, wrote, they advertised this on Facebook for our Rocky event, and they wrote, it's time for the Hoedown Throwdown. Now, Hoedown Throwdown is, from Hannah Montana, which we all probably liked when we were in year 5 or something, but that probably caught a few people's attention. So I'm going to kind of scoot around your question here a bit, but if something could be put up of people like kind of catches someone's eye and they're like, oh, what's that? And they look into it a bit further and be like, oh, line dancing is coming to town, I'm going. Just something attention seeking. And just, I think with the mental health side of things, I'm such a strong believer of, prevention is better than cure. So if people, people can come along, and this is something that, really puts people in a good frame of mind. They've, made connections that night, or, as Kate said, they've talked to people who they haven't talked to for a few years and that sort of thing. If we can make, really support good mental health in communities, then that, that would be fantastic. So I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you did. I was going to say, Claire, maybe your billboard would be prevention's better than cure. So,
I will. Thank you, Wes.
What about you, Kate? What would your message be?
There's a little
it doesn't have to be a billboard. It's just
there's a little quote that's popped into my head, but I can't remember it. It's actually off.
You can't Google it. That's
I am going to Google it.
Oh, no.
It is. It's one from Winnie the Pooh that
I actually named my dog after Winnie the Pooh. Actually.
There you go.
Her name is Winnie.
So there's actually a bit of a story with the quote in for some reason I can't remember it. It's not coming to me, but in my year 12 study of religion class, I went to a Catholic school, but that's beside the point. In my year 12 study of religion class, my teacher used to have the walls covered with quotes and just nice little things all over the place. And one of them was a Winnie the Pooh quote that I was always like, that's the one that I really like. That one's always stood out to me. Let me just, sorry, I'm searching.
Now we're trying to find it.
Now we're trying to
it stands out.
Well, you do that. Now, what I was going to say, girls, I reckon this would be pretty cool. I think I'll reach out in November or even early December, and we can do a bit of a wrap up of how you've been and how's it going. And, you know, hopefully you're both still in the car. Maybe, you know, maybe there's only one left, but I think it'd be really, really cool to sort of see, because we are capturing you in the first 2 weeks. So energy is high.
Yeah.
But I think coming an interview at the end would be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I've found the quote now, don't worry. But yeah, so the story with it is that it was always on the walls, and I was like, oh, that's what that one really stands out to me. And at the end of year 12, my year 12 teacher would, everyone would pick their one that stood out to them, and he would give them to you with a little quote on the back of it, and hand that over to you for you to keep for the sort of pin on your wall and do whatever you like with for the rest of your life, or whatever you want to do with it. And so that was one for me, is Piglet says, how do you spell love? And Pooh says, you don't spell it, you feel it. And I think the world could really use a lot of love.
Yeah, 100%. And kindness.
So if I was to put something on a billboard, it wouldn't be line dancing related. It's just something to share the love, because we need a bit more of that.
Girls, we'll wrap it up. However, I should have asked, now let's say you're on the road, you're driving, you're in a big truck, or maybe you're in a tractor, or perhaps you're even in a fast car, and you're driving past and there's these two gorgeous females in the car. What does the car, now not the number plate, we won't go that far, but what does the car look like? Has it got line dancing on it?
It's a pretty, we've planned to blend in, so we're pretty nondescript. It's a just silver Prado with an awning and a rooftop tent, although it does have a little flag on the front that's got our sticker and a sticker on the back.
Nice.
So
Prado, very fitting for the country that you'll be going into.
Yeah, and that's the reason behind that is, we didn't come down in the last shower. We know that not everyone out there is fantastic, and just because this is somewhere where we are going to be sleeping each night, like we want, during the day and all of that, we're happy for everyone to know who we are. But if at night, we wouldn't mind just being some new character, blending in a little bit, because we're in the car. So that's why.
We've had a lot of people go, oh, I bet your car's got a full wrap, and we're like, well, it is our home. Like, we don't want people that trying to go, oh, I know there's two young girls in that car. Let's see what we can do.
I definitely thought about that one, so that is smart and well done. But I do hope someone sees you along the road during the day and does a honk, and
we've already had a few of those.
We like just stopping in the middle of nowhere. We'll be like, oh, there's a truck stop coming up in 2Ks, and we'll just pull over and just start dancing on the side of the road, and then a fair few people toot as they drive past, thinking, what the hell are those two doing? But if someone drives past and they've been driving on their own for 2 hours, and it's the first time they've smiled and had a bit of a laugh for the day, like, great, worth it.
Are you doing the CB radio stuff? Are you doing any of the chit chat?
We haven't turned it on yet, but we've got it here.
Mother goose,
just step out and I'll push for everyone.
Well, girls, I thought we'd finish with this. Hang on, here we go.
Do we not in the car? We're in the car.
Where are my boots?
Right here.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, we can step it out. Here we go.
Now, you can't do longer than 10 seconds, otherwise you get cut off because of copyright, but I just thought that would bring some smiles to your faces, so otherwise we won't be able to air this. But girls, I just want to reiterate, well done. You are creating memories for life, and you've taken action, and what you're trying to do is create connection and community and love and bring joy. And I truly hope that you have the best success, and at the same time, look after yourself, because if you look after yourself, you can look after your friends and others, and then perform really well. But just well done, seriously. Honestly, for someone that's, girls, you're young, and it's just, yeah, it brings you hope that there's people out there that want to make a difference. So
Thank you very much, Wes.
Yeah, no, we really appreciate that. Like it's been a leap of faith. We've both quit our jobs and we absolutely loved the jobs that we were both in. So it is a leap of faith and we hope that it's great, but we really, really appreciate that feedback. So thank you so much. Thanks for being interested enough in us to interview us. Thanks for putting the nut bush on for a second.
Yeah.
No,
Well, you can tap it out, and then girls, I'll chase you up come sort of end of November.
Yeah, that'd be
I'll
perfect.
do this again, and I just want to say thank you. Now we will finish. We'll just I'll hit end of record, and that'll just all cut out. But well done, and I will see you towards the end of the trip.
Sounds good.
See you, girls.
Thank you very much, Wes.
You're awesome. Ciao. Bye.
See you
Bye.
later.